July 29, 1588. Off the stormy, windswept coast of Gravelines, near the modern border of France and Flanders, the fate of Western civilization hung precariously in the balance. In the gray morning light, the roar of hundreds of heavy cannons shattered the ocean air as the English fleet closed in for a decisive confrontation against the legendary Spanish Armada. For years, King Philip II's Grande y Felicissima Armada, venerated across Europe as the Invincible Armada, had been the ultimate terror of the high seas. It was a colossal floating fortress of wood, iron, and religious zeal, launched to crush Queen Elizabeth I, conquer Protestant England, and restore Catholic dominance across the continent. But here, in the narrow, treacherous waters of the Channel, a combination of tactical brilliance, technological innovation, and the sudden, unforgiving fury of the elements would turn the tide of history. This explosive clash would not only ensure England's survival against impossible odds, but it would permanently shatter the myth of Spanish invincibility, altering the geopolitical trajectory of the European continent forever. The stunning outcome of the Battle of Gravelines, we must analyze the profound mismatch between Spanish grand strategy and English naval innovation. The Spanish Armada was built for a different kind of war. Their strategy relied on traditional medieval naval doctrine: sail close to the enemy ship, fire a single close-range volley to cripple its rigging, grapple onto its side, and unleash thousands of heavily armed infantrymen to overwhelm the defenders in hand-to-hand combat. It was essentially a land battle fought on water. The English, however, had completely rewritten the rules of naval engagement. Under the leadership of innovators like Sir John Hawkins and Sir Francis Drake, England deployed a new breed of warship, the race-built galleon. These vessels were smaller, sleeker, and significantly faster than the cumbersome Spanish giants. More importantly, they were armed with long-range, rapid-firing culverin cannons mounted on innovative truck carriages. When the Spanish tried to close the distance to grapple, the nimble English ships easily danced away on the wind, maintaining a safe distance while unleashing a relentless, disciplined bombardment. At Gravelines, after a midnight fireship attack had already thrown the Spanish into disarray, the English closed in. For 8 agonizing hours, they systematically dismantled the Spanish formation, piercing heavy hulls and leaving the pride of Spain bleeding into the sea.
The Battle of Gravelines was the decisive, shattering blow that broke the spirit of the Spanish expedition. Depleted of ammunition, their ships heavily battered, and their tight defensive formations permanently unraveled, the Spanish commanders realized that a junction with their invasion army in Flanders was now entirely impossible. Trapped by unfavorable winds that prevented them from turning back down the English Channel, the Armada was forced into a desperate, catastrophic retreat. Their only escape route lay north, a perilous journey around the uncharted, storm-plagued northern tips of Scotland and Ireland. What followed was one of the greatest maritime tragedies in human history. Lacking proper maps, running entirely out of fresh water, and decimated by disease, the retreating fleet was hit by a series of unprecedented, ferocious autumn gales. Dozens of heavily damaged galleons were violently smashed against the jagged, rocky cliffs of the Scottish and Irish coastlines. Thousands of Spanish sailors drowned in the freezing Atlantic, while those who managed to crawl ashore were often ruthlessly executed by local English garrisons. Of the 130 proud ships that had departed Spain, barely half returned to home ports, carrying a broken remnant of traumatized survivors. It was a devastating blow to the global imperial ambitions of King Philip II, plunging Spain into a state of national grief.
While the defeat of the Armada did not instantly end the Anglo-Spanish War, the victory at Gravelines cemented a profound, permanent shift in the global balance of power. It marked the psychological and structural beginning of the rise of English naval dominance. Before 1588, Spain was the undisputed colossus superpower of the world, funded by an endless stream of silver from the Americas. England was merely a second-tier island nation, constantly threatened by Catholic Europe. The defense of the Channel permanently altered that equation, proving that a smaller nation, reliant on technological innovation and absolute mastery of the seas, could successfully defy the greatest empire on Earth. The lessons forged during the campaign became the bedrock of English national strategy for the next 3 centuries. It catalyzed a permanent investment in a professional standing navy, establishing a doctrine of maritime supremacy that would eventually allow the tiny island nation to project its power to every corner of the globe. The defeat of the Armada cleared the path for the birth of the British Empire, while marking the very first stage of the long, slow, and irreversible decline of Spanish hegemony in the Atlantic world.
The Battle of Gravelines remains to this day a foundational mythic legend of British national identity, a timeless testament to how a combination of strategic innovation, bold execution, and a bit of luck can rewrite the destiny of nations. It serves as an enduring reminder that on the grand stage of global history, the architectures of power can be upended in a single afternoon when the wind shifts. As we look across our modern world, where control over maritime trade routes, naval choke points, and oceanic supremacy continues to shape the rise and fall of global superpowers, the legacy of 1588 offers vital, sobering lessons. How do you assess the raw, complex role of naval supremacy in the trajectory of empires? Is absolute mastery of the seas still the defining indicator of global power, or has the theater of dominance permanently shifted to new domains? We want to hear your analytical insights and unique perspectives, so please share your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you found this comprehensive historical breakdown valuable, please hit that like button, share this video with a fellow history enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another deep dive into the epic world-shaping moments of our shared human past. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and we will see you in the next video.